With the world economy in a fragile state, top corporations must adapt to survive. The bosses of some of Canada's biggest companies are about to take extreme action. To stay ahead of the game, they're going undercover in their own organizations. This week, the boss of the world's largest junk removal company goes undercover. But what's he doing in a dump like this?
Wow, a lot of stuff.
Headquartered in Vancouver, 1-800-GOT-JUNK has become the poster boy for trash, operating in Canada, the US, and Australia. Despite the toughest economy in a lifetime, CEO Brian Scudamore is dead set on expansion.
We want to build the next $100 million brand.
But has he lost touch with the empire he founded?
How things have changed. Workout, huh?
Please don't hurt yourself.
I'm trying to keep up, but I'm not 20 anymore.
He'll assume a new identity.
You go. Nice to meet you.
And discover the inside dirt about what goes on in his own company.
This morning was chaotic. They've got to really look at that because they're losing money.
At the end of the week, he'll summon the staff he's met to head office to come clean about who he really is.
You're not here though, are you?
Brian Scudamore.
Oh, God.
They'll be shocked to find out he's really their boss, and their lives will be changed forever.
Are you serious?
1-800-GOT-JUNK has revolutionized and defined the junk removal industry. In North America alone, it boasts 177 franchises, a fleet of over 750 trucks, and a staff pushing 2,000. But this junk empire's story started with just one man.
My name is Brian Scudamore. I'm the founder and CEO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK. 1-800-GOT-JUNK was something that I started as a way to pay for college. I saw a beat-up old pickup truck in front of me with plywood side panels filled with junk, and I said, wow, there's a great idea. So a week later, I had a company which at the time was called the Rubbish Boys, had a vision for something bigger, and got out there, started hauling junk. Ironically, what funded my way through college, 3 years into my college education, I dropped out. My father is a liver transplant surgeon, I think had high hopes for his oldest son, but I said, Dad, I'm learning much more about business, running a business, more than I was studying in school.
It was a gamble that made him a millionaire.
Wowing the customer is everything to us. We've got clean, shiny trucks, friendly uniformed drivers. This is about really professionalizing a somewhat dirty industry. I think what 1-800-GOT-JUNK is best at is culture. We are a company that's about the road less traveled. We do things differently. We're a little bit quirky. We have fun.
This philosophy has led to accolades and media exposure.
1-800-GOT-JUNK. What a great idea.
But success hasn't stopped him from taking risks. Brian has planned a daring expansion.
I started a new business called 1-888-WOW One Day Painting. I bought a new house, needed to get my place painted. One guy came in and said, listen, I'll give you the quality you'd expect in a time frame that's unexpected. I'll do it in a day. This is a concept that could revolutionize the painting business, just like we have the junk removal business. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I think I got it from my grandparents, who ran an army surplus store, and I worked at an early age learning how to run a business. My grandparents were really my mentors. My father has always been somebody that's pushed me hard to be successful, but I left school. I think it took him some time to realize that I'm passionate about business, and I built a successful company, so he's a big fan and supporter now.
But over the years, he's learned he won't sacrifice family for his ambitions.
My business was always number one, but then once I had kids, I realized, you know what, it's really about family. The people that I want to spend the most time with in my life are my kids, my wife. I have two girls, expecting a little boy on the way, and we're very excited, Lara and I.
Every summer, he unplugs from the world of junk to remind himself what life's really about. And he's found the perfect place for it in Italy.
People in Italy work to live. They don't live to work like we do in North America. They've got balance, they've got family time. You're always sitting down for a great meal, a glass of wine, and enjoying connection with friends and family.
But that's becoming harder with competition heating up. The market that 1-800-GOT-JUNK defined is getting crowded. For junk to grow, Brian's got to make sure the wow doesn't turn into a yawn. He's going to take the biggest risk of his career and go undercover at his own company.
I see challenges as opportunities. I want to go undercover to see what's really going on. What can we do to make things better? I'm about to let my leadership team know that I'm going undercover. I don't know how they'll react. Thank you for being here. I've got an important announcement to make. I am stepping down as CEO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Come on.
Just for a week. I have the opportunity to go undercover. I think you all know how important it is to me to connect with the front lines. We're a company that's all about growth. I want to see out there what's happening and ways that we can grow even more quickly.
What if you recognize him?
What if I'm recognized? Well, you can see I'm starting to grow my disguise. I don't know exactly what they're going to do to me, and I think it's going to have to be drastic because we do get a lot of press.
Good luck.
Good luck.
He's in pretty good shape, but, he's not as young as he used to be, so we'll see.
So, how do you feel about me going away for a week undercover?
I don't know, I'm gonna miss you. You think you're ready to do all the back-breaking labor again?
I'm 41. It's not like I'm 72.
Brian loves his company, and I think this is a great opportunity for him.
All right, make me Hugo. While I'm going undercover, I'll be changing my name to Hugo Ward. Someone who is working in accounts payable, was downsized, and I'll be telling people that he's agreed to be a part of a documentary on retraining and getting people back into the workforce. This is starting to freak me out. That's a lot of hair. Oh my God. Okay, if you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm kind of ready. Oh, wow, you don't look like yourself.
Really?
No. I was shocked, actually. He didn't look like him at all. People are going to think I'm cheating on you.
I'm excited. Who gets to go and see what the business is really like?
Coming up, it's time for Brian to suck it up and get to it.
Gotta be a better way than this.
And later,
So, Hugo, is this something you can see yourself doing 70 hours a week?
No.
Brian Scudamore has lost a lot to go undercover at 1-800-GOT-JUNK. He's posing as a downsized number cruncher who wants to work outdoors. It's day one, and he's going to explore Junk's new baby, 1-888-WOW one-day painting. Brian hopes the business will do for painting what 1-800-GOT-JUNK has done for garbage.
I'm hoping to see what the quality of the service is like. I've got high standards and big expectations for this brand, and I want to see that it's actually being delivered. Are we finishing jobs in a day?
Staff have no idea he's actually their boss undercover.
I'm meeting with Daryl, and he's our general manager. I'm a little nervous because I've met him before, briefly, but I'm still nervous. Hey there. I'm looking for Daryl.
I'm Daryl.
Oh, hey,
You must be
Hugo.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Good to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Here to be trained.
We only got one day, so we might as well get started.
So far, so good. Brian's disguise is holding.
Go ahead and get her all dressed up.
So he suits up, meets the team, and launches into his cover story.
Accounts payable, this bank laid me off. So.
Until the client shows up,
Kurt.
and Brian bolts for the door.
We'll be back here.
So when the client walked in, Kurt, turns out he's a buddy of mine. This is a guy I'm having beers with. He's been into my office for meetings. This is crazy.
Brian's only option is to hide in plain sight.
And guys, get the guys in here. Yeah.
Easier said than done.
In the paper bag.
I was kind of head down, staying at the back of the team. I took my hat off so he could see that I was bald if he did recognize me, and I was a little worried. What are the odds?
Turn, just come on by. Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, Kurt. Have a great day. Thanks very much. You too.
Luckily, the client's gone without Brian blowing his cover.
A little concerning, but I think we pulled it off.
So let's get her started. We only got a day, boys. Let's go. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Daryl starts Brian prepping the walls before painting can begin.
Got it. I mean, what's your background? How long have you been working in painting?
My dad was a painter. My grandpa was a painter. My brother had his own painting business as well.
So you're like third-generation painter.
Pretty much.
When did you sort of move into the management side? I mean, now that you're a general manager.
For a long time, there's been a lot of construction jobs, one after the other. It wasn't hard. We were in good demand. But with the economy slowing down, all of a sudden, they start drying up.
So what was sort of the toughest part during the economy for you? I mean, were there times where you couldn't make ends meet?
We had to sell our house.
Oh, really? Because you couldn't afford to keep
Because we
it?
couldn't afford it, yeah. We got a loving family and loving wife. We're married for 24 years.
Congrats.
And that's what's important.
Yeah.
You know?
As someone who personally believes in putting family first, and that's most important, I see that in Daryl. And so it was heartfelt when he told me that he lost his house due to the recession. That's a big blow. Do you think there's an opportunity for this company to grow within the painting industry and build a name
I think
for
it's
itself?
unbelievable.
Is there enough work for you?
Yeah, we're just finishing our 4th month and tremendous response. It's very exciting.
It's good. It's nice to see that he's an optimistic guy and sees opportunity with Wow One Day Painting to grow and hopefully own his own home again.
Sir, this is what we're going to do.
They're on a tight schedule, so Daryl gives Brian a chance at painting.
Yep. As soon as these start feeling dragging, then you have to get more paint in your brush.
Okay.
I should kind of just glide down there. You good with that?
I'm good.
All right, man.
Brian's leisurely pace is not quite what One Day Painting needs. The rest of the team's got the first coat done.
And you'll finish this hallway here. Wow, 2 days, Hugo?
I'm trying.
No, speed comes in time with efficiency, that's all.
Daryl decides the most efficient thing to do is to take Brian out of the situation and off to quote on another job.
So you sound like you're a busy guy paint-wise. I mean, what do you do for fun?
For fun, well, at our church, I am they call me deacon of worship. I lead music from the piano every Sunday at our church.
Do you have a musical background?
I do. Our family's been very musical. Hello.
Hi.
Deborah?
Deborah.
I'm Daryl.
Daryl, nice to meet you. Come on
Thank you
in.
very much.
Daryl's great at developing rapport. I think I'm reminded that this company is all about people. And when I see Daryl's passion for the business, he does want to close the sale, but he wants to make sure the customers are happy.
On top of customer service, Daryl's got a system to speed up the quote process.
So this very much is a mobile office. You've got your internet stick, your laptop.
I want to make sure that every estimate I go to, that everybody gets a written estimate on site all the time. It's not about pressure. It's about they know that we're really going to do what we say we're going to do.
I love that Daryl's office is his car. He's fully mobile. And I think it's a big advantage in this business. And to be able to bring it in signed on the spot, I think there's an opportunity for 1-800-GOT-JUNK to take some learnings from 1-888-WOW One Day Painting. The mobile office, we could equip our trucks with more technology. I think there's some good opportunities there.
So I think that went pretty well. What do you think?
I thought it was great. It was nice to see it go from an estimate to a signed quotation, and liked learning and watching you in action.
Yeah, I think customer service is the #1 goal here. We better get back. The boys are painting. We got lots of work to do.
By the time Daryl and Brian make it back, the guys are putting on the finishing touches. And since painting isn't Brian's strong suit, Daryl puts him on cleanup.
I don't think I need to tell you how to do a vacuum cleaner. Okay? Right on.
It might be 1 day painting, but it looks like 2-day vacuuming.
Gotta be a better way than this.
I felt like I was cleaning carpets, sort of like a toothbrush on a floor. One of the first things I do is buy him a new vacuum that actually had like a power head or something, but you want to make the place look spotless and do it with ease, not take an hour and a half to do it.
Or take your frustrations out on the wall.
Hey, Daryl. I got a little aggressive with the vacuum and screwed up the wall.
Okay.
All right, the paint. You got a brush?
Yeah, we'll get that done.
Despite Brian's best efforts, Daryl and his team managed to paint the whole house without him.
So what do you guys think of Hugo today?
Good job.
Good job. Did a great job.
Thanks for including me.
Appreciate it. I think this concept of painting in a day is something customers love, and I see it as being a paramount part of our future growth.
Coming up, Brian has an identity crisis at the staff meeting.
Brian.
And later, suspicions arise when the boss's hidden talents are uncovered.
Hope he's not on to me.
CEO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Brian Scudamore, used to run a successful business taking out the trash. But these days, he's on hands and knees picking up crumbs.
Sort of like a toothbrush on a floor.
All so he can learn about his company from the front lines. It's the morning of day 2, and Brian is no longer on his home turf of Vancouver.
Today I'm visiting our Calgary franchise. Calgary is one of the fastest growing cities in Canada, and so there should be lots of opportunities for growth here. However, in this market, I've heard that they've had challenges finding and keeping great people.
Hello.
Morning.
I'm looking for Danny.
Today, Brian will shadow Danny, an Aussie implant, who's trying to cope with staff shortages.
As the office manager, I'm in charge of the human resources part of our business here, which means sourcing through applications and those sort of things. Good old Cowtown, Calgary, is oil and gas. Guys can go up to the oil rigs and make 150 to 200 grand a year. And so we lose a lot of good people, which is something that we're working on here.
No time to mess around with office junk. The teams must be coordinated and sent out to the day's jobs. Used to running meetings, Brian's now got to keep a low profile.
Everybody, quick introductions.
Brian. I couldn't believe at the morning meeting when I was given the chance to introduce myself that the first person I said hello to, I said, "Hi, I'm Brian." You go. I caught myself and quickly recovered, but the whole morning meeting, I thought, oh my gosh, I've blown my cover.
But Brian's not the boss here, so no one's paying attention to him. And Danny moves the meeting on.
Alrighty, so today, decent looking schedule. Cal 1 today.
Danny's good at running morning meetings. She's got a friendly, smiling demeanor. She's warm. She cares about her truck teams.
And more than anything, she cares about missing their sales target for the month.
We missed goal.
Yeah.
By like $2,000. I know.
That's like one truck in a day.
We needed one more truck to run on Friday and we just couldn't do it. We are good to go.
Meeting over, Danny dispatches the teams. They have to get out into the field or they'll never hit their revenue targets. However, the individual teams seem to be making money. So Brian wants to know why the franchise isn't hitting its monthly targets.
$200,000 for the whole month.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of junk.
That's a lot of junk, but it's not enough junk. We needed at least $2,000 more junk. But the last day of the month, we could have run another truck, but we just didn't have the people for it.
Calgary's running a great business, but they're missing opportunity. They could grow even further, and I'm sure it's important to the franchise owners. So they've got to figure out how to find more people so they can put more trucks on the road and service more customers.
They head back upstairs to find the trucks they do have aren't even on the road.
Should be gone. What are you guys doing? Can you tell everyone to...
Well, we got to sort it out.
They've got equipment problems. Some is missing, some needs to be assembled,
You had to put it together?
and some is broken.
What have you got?
It's turning out. I'm right in the middle of the conversation.
This morning was exceptionally chaotic. Nothing was going as planned. The truck teams kept coming in and out, grabbing different tools, schedules. One driver came back in with a phone that wasn't working, and I know that things can happen, but it seemed like there were genuinely some missing systems.
This is a nightmare.
All this means is a very busy day gets off to a very slow start.
But everyone needs to get out of here. We need to get this show on the road this morning.
Saw Danny's stress. It's unnecessary. It's something that we definitely have to look at because I imagine if it's happening in Calgary, it's happening in a lot of other franchises.
Ay, ay, ay.
At last, Danny can return to the demands of the office, which has its own set of challenges. Every booking that comes into 1-800-GOT-JUNK is processed through the central call center in Vancouver, known as the Junction. But it's all Greek to Danny. Their shorthand is challenging for anyone not from head office.
Still curious about all this. There's all this shorthand,
Yes,
HH,
right.
CDRR, NEA.
CDRRNEA. I have no idea what that means. Junction, they have their own language, I'm pretty sure of it. They're probably Aussies, and I'm so out of the Aussie lingo that I don't know what that means.
I couldn't even guess what that means. I saw Danny have an issue with some of the language, the shorthand and acronyms that she wasn't aware what they mean being put into JunkNet. There seems to be a disconnect between the call center, the Junction, and the field team. CCITR.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Client called in to reschedule.
CCITR.
I know that one. As great as that is for them while they're on the phones, it sucks for me. So.
Because you just don't know what it is.
And do you know what? I haven't spoken to everyone in the Junction to say, hey, what's your shorthand mean? I see it on a regular basis and it grinds my gears.
And speak of the devil, it's the Junction calling in a last-minute job.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, hon. Bye.
But there's a problem.
If you look at today's schedule, we can't book them in.
There aren't enough bodies to hump all the junk.
Staffing is an issue here. They've got to really look at that because they're losing money.
But fear not, because the office manager actually has a spare pair of work boots and a shirt and a pair of pants. And so
That's you.
That's me.
Okay. How do you like going out in the trucks?
It's awful. Yay, we get to go out in a truck today.
Awesome. Can't wait.
So I need to back you up so that you don't ruin my truck.
I'm excited. It's going to take me back to the old days and love driving trucks.
He may be excited, but has it been too long?
Do you know what you're doing?
Coming up,
Sorry, I don't mean to.
Yeah.
lost in Cowtown.
She was the worst navigator I've ever met. I feel like we're going in circles.
Yeah, we pretty much are.
So far, CEO Brian Scudamore has almost blown his cover.
First person I said hello to, I said, hi, I'm Brian. Brian.
And office manager Danny doesn't think he can be trusted.
Don't ruin my truck.
It's nearly lunchtime, and Brian's not running on all cylinders.
Do you know what you're doing? All right.
Okay, hold on, I just gotta find out how to put it in reverse.
Because of a manpower shortage at the Calgary franchise, Brian and office manager Danny are the only ones available to go out on a last-minute booking.
We are off. Take a right. I'm gonna try really hard with these directions.
Are you still trying to figure out your lefts and rights? Is it opposite in Australia?
Yes, we drove on the other side of the road.
No, I mean lefts and rights.
Oh, now you're being a smartass. Okay.
I am. The trip over was great. Danny's got an awesome sense of humor. Feels pretty cool to hop in one of those trucks and just the good old days of driving and chatting with, your coworker. So is your family all still in Australia?
Mum and Dad are in Australia. My brother's out here. He married a Canadian girl.
Okay.
Officially, I moved in August last year. My brother's like, come to Canada.
Nice.
And here I am.
What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I'm an aspiring writer.
Really?
Yeah.
And so you write in terms of like fiction?
Yeah. The plan is to one day to be a full-time author, but I'm gonna say 10 years off that.
Yeah.
So I'll be with 1-800 Got Junk for the next 10 years at least. I have a dream that I'll be able to move to Italy and sit in a cafe and write. I'm a sucker for Rome. I love the lifestyle. Everything about it, there's so much culture.
Yeah, I love Italy. Love everything about Italy. I love the cooking,
Yeah.
the wine,
The wine.
people. Driving with Danny's great. I mean, she's a real talker, and it helps because we've got lots of time to talk. I mean, she's a terrible navigator, and we're lost.
Oh, this is closed.
I feel like we're going in circles.
Yeah, we pretty much are.
I was doing my job driving, but she was the worst navigator I've ever met. I mean, we got lost nonstop, and she knew it, so.
Oh, man.
So I just couldn't understand why we weren't using the GPS, and we were relying on an Aussie to navigate us around Calgary. Being late had nothing to do with your navigation skills, right?
No, not at all. Hey, how you doing? Danny from 1-800 Got Junk.
Good, how are you?
Good, this is my friend Hugo.
Nice to meet you.
Hugo, today is your lucky day, my friend. Alrighty.
Oh, and the power doesn't work. I'm not plugged in. Am I an idiot?
We're good?
Yeah, we're good now. We're good. But now my bit fell out.
Okay. He doesn't know how to use a drill bit, which was a bit odd. He's a man. I thought all men knew how to use drills. Houston, I think we have a problem.
It's Hugo.
You just like noise, don't you? Please don't hurt yourself.
I won't. Timber! It's kind of fun taking stuff apart. It's almost as fun as going to Italy. This part of the job's going well. It's a reminder that, hey, I'm not 20 anymore, and there's some heavy stuff to lift. Danny's doing a terrific job, especially the fact that she's usually in the office. She's doing some things where she would normally have knowledgeable help.
I don't know how many office managers do this, but...
Yeah. So how do you deal with people leaving?
So we're always trying to get the younger guys out there who are sort of part-time, who can work in university and those sort of things, because that way they're at least not heading to the oil field. So
you'd have a lot of part-timers.
Yeah, we do.
But just not enough steady people.
Well, we just need to get those good people in. We need to offer them a place to work where they want to work, and
so the work is there. It's just a matter of finding the people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny. That was awesome. It was fun working with you.
So does that mean you're going to come and join us and run some junk?
We'll see.
It's the end of his time in Calgary, and Brian's got a flight to catch.
Staffing is an issue here. Danny said that if she had more people, she'd put out more trucks. And so that's costing them money. They're missing opportunity. They're losing growth. So I think it's something that has to be addressed.
Coming up, is Brian too good to be true?
Look at that, like a pro.
And later, he shows Danny who's boss.
Do you know why you're here?
Am I in trouble?
So far, Brian sucked it up in Vancouver.
Gotta be a better way than this.
And put pedal to the metal in Alberta.
Do you know what you're doing?
After a flight out of Calgary, CEO Brian Scudamore begins his third day undercover.
Today I'm in Toronto. It's our largest franchise worldwide. I know they're doing a lot of things well here, and I want to see them firsthand. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Looking for Daniel.
Right here.
Hey, heard I'm spending a day in a truck with you.
Yes, you are. Are you ready to have a good time?
Absolutely.
While Calgary had difficulty retaining staff, Daniel's one of the longest working employees, 2 years in the field and the junction.
Daniel spoke earlier today on the phone. How you doing?
From the get-go, Brian sees Daniel whip through the estimate and charm the customer.
Daniel's great with people. He's clearly a people person. He's outgoing and enthusiastic.
And great at closing the deal.
Excellent. Let's get started. There's no really rules or anything. Just have at it.
Like Brian, Daniel's worked his way through university on the junk trucks.
Done any schooling? Are you a university guy or?
Yeah, I'm a university graduate, actually.
Awesome.
Degree in political science and history.
Right on.
And now I'm in the process of applying for my master's. Thank you, sir.
I'll grab the credit card.
Cheers, that's a good one. Here you go.
So you're doing your master's, or you're gonna do your master's? What in?
I'm looking at doing it in journalism, actually. I have developed this passion for me. I never had ever thought of going into journalism.
Any sort of special area that you're passionate about in journalism?
Probably foreign affairs. I think reporting on those things and issues are important. And you know what you can do, actually?
Yeah.
While I'm doing this, why don't I get you to put up some Post-it notes? We'll do a little marketing.
Okay.
You know, that way it shows...
It's encouraging to see that Daniel wants me to, while he's writing up the bill, let's not waste time. He's getting me to go put out some marketing. And it's important because that drives business. And I think in a lot of our franchises, they might be getting complacent. They're not out there putting these things up in between jobs. So we've got to figure out a way for Toronto to be ambassadors to other franchisees to let them know that this stuff works. Here's a perfect example. Someone's building a new deck. They're likely going to have junk, so why not give them a Post-it note to give them a reminder?
One job ends, but as soon as they're in the truck, the next one begins.
What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you call our next client.
Okay.
And it's the second job there.
Hi, may I speak with Stephen, please?
Customer call-aheads are the tentpole of 1-800-GOT-JUNK's customer service. It's what sets them apart from the imitators on their tail.
Call-aheads are an important part of our business. It's setting expectations with customers that we're on our way. We've given you a promised window, and we're going to be there in 15 to 30 minutes. Customer call-aheads are such a key part of making sure that the customer experience starts off on the right foot.
When truck teams don't make those calls, Junk's reputation and bottom line suffer.
It's the biggest complaint generator across the system. It's something we've got to take a real good look at and figure out how to fix.
However, in Toronto, they're doing something right.
Call-aheads are so important for making sure you start things out on the right foot with the customer, and it's awesome to see that Daniel's making them. In fact, right away, he's got me making them, so it's awesome.
Now it's up to Brian to turn a quote into a job.
Okay. Wow, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, let's see what you got, man.
Okay.
But if he gets it wrong, they'll lose the job and have wasted half a day.
Where would you like to start?
Maybe here.
Okay.
Just
the
those
books. Okay.
and in the garage.
Okay. Great. So a full truckload is $498.
Plus HST.
Plus HST, thank you.
Brian manages to close the deal, but not quite to Daniel's satisfaction.
There you go.
So I mean, do you think that was that a full load?
I think so. I think it's going to be very close. I know it's your first time pricing a job, but just walk into it like you own it. Just walk in like, you know, you've done this for years, you know exactly what's going on.
Actually, I haven't.
It's a workout, huh? It is.
And as Brian's old junk habit kicks in, so does suspicion. Being too good just might blow his cover.
You sure you haven't done this before? Like, yeah, I know, you've definitely worked for a competitor.
When Daniel asked me if I'd done this before, it kind of had me freaked out a little bit because I'm like, oh, is he on to me? And then he made a comment later.
Look at that, like a pro.
I hope he's not on to me.
They tip their load at the transfer station. Last year, the company picked up 200,000 tons of junk and recycled more than half of it. 'Cause junk doesn't always mean garbage.
I've arranged to take the trainee to Chris's house. Chris is a legend around the company for having quite a unique collection of items that he's found off the job. So I think it should be, pretty interesting and pretty cool experience. Chris, what's going on, buddy? Nice meeting you, man. How you doing, man?
So Dan told me you got a lot of stuff from junk.
It'd be easier to point out the things that I didn't get from junk than what I did.
Because most of it is from junk. Yeah. Chris, I seriously can't believe you found all this on the job. It's awesome.
Yeah?
Oh, man. This place is like total Canadiana. This guy's got a great eye. I mean, they say one man's trash is another man's treasure, but this place should be seen. It's great to see the guys here in Toronto hanging out together. It's exactly the culture that we want to exemplify.
Tomorrow, all right?
Thanks again, Dan. It was a great day. I'm tired, but I'm looking forward to getting back out in the trucks again tomorrow, and I know that it's another chance for me to look at another aspect of the business.
Coming up, Brian tries to go the distance, but comes up short.
I'm trying to keep up.
It's early morning on Brian Scudamore's last day undercover.
I'm missing my family. It's hard being away for so long, but definitely feel like I'm grabbing some great ideas from the field and things that are going to help the company as a whole. Today I'm in Peterborough and I'm checking out a more rural franchise. We've done very well in urban centers, but there's big opportunity to grow in some of the rural markets. Dan? Hugo.
Hey, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Good to meet you.
He's riding shotgun with Dan, highest earner at the Peterborough franchise.
Do you feel like you're running your own business?
Yeah, that's pretty much 100% why I took this job, is due to the fact that I used to have my own business.
What kind of business did you run?
I used to own antiques and collectibles and new and used furniture. I started with one little store, and then we bought 2 little stores. The economy sort of went to the crapper, and
here you are.
Pretty much here we sit
From
today.
selling junk to hauling it away.
How you doing today, ma'am?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Good.
Dan quickly and professionally gives the customer a quote.
We're around a third of a load, no more than a half a truck.
All right.
All right, perfect.
If he quotes fast, he hauls junk even faster.
Alrighty. With me, there's one speed.
What's that?
Just go.
Having fun. Dan moves. I'm trying to keep up. I gotta go.
Seems physically fit. Seems okay so far. I'd keep him to the next job anyways.
Goodbye, Frosty. So where are we headed now?
To Lindsay. That's where we're gonna go offload.
How far away is this transfer station?
At least 40 minutes.
40 minutes to go to the transfer station.
Yeah, there's one outside of town here, but we would have to drive so far out of our way, so you're gonna waste an hour driving there and back, which this place is maybe 10 minutes out of the way. So, and we get to just straight up dump.
Okay, so part of your job then is effectively organizing where you're going when.
Yeah.
You're all empty.
After a quick dump, it's on to a job deep in cottage country.
So your own territory, how long is it from one side to the other?
Yeah, we do on average at least minimum at least 400 clicks a day.
So if you're logging 300-400 kilometers a day, that's 5 hours worth of just driving.
Yep. But I find with these out-of-town jobs, you don't get an easy out-of-town job ever. The only reason why these guys are calling this is because it's such a brutal job that they have no interest in doing it themselves. They're always, 2 trucks, 5 trucks. I've done 13 truck jobs.
So there's big money to be made rurally.
Oh, geez, yeah. The only way the company loses at all is if we go to a job and can't sell that customer on that job. So then that drive is for nothing, the gas is for nothing.
I think there's huge potential to be hauling away junk like this from cottage country. There's opportunity if the business is there, maybe to add another truck and split up the territory so they're not driving as far. So how much would you say you're personally loading a day?
Personally, anywhere 3,000 pounds each. On a light day, I guess.
Yeah. You call this a light day?
This I'd call a light day, yeah. See, because there's a couple other buildings we have to clean out, too. But one thing I could see a little bit with Hugo is it seemed like you got a little overwhelmed when you looked at the size of the original piles and stuff like that. But with us, it's just it's a process you pick through, and eventually it's clean. Let's just grip and rip. Grip and rip.
Dan's doing most of the gripping and ripping. Brian's keeping up, but mostly panting and wheezing.
So, Hugo, is this something you can see yourself doing 70 hours a week?
70? Really?
Well, we work at least 10 hours a day, 6 days a week.
No, I can't see myself doing this 70 hours a week. I'm trying to keep up. But he's fast. Reminds me of my days in the trucks when I used to haul junk. And one thing that's cool is to see his passion and energy when he's not even the guy building the business like I was back in the day. Did I tell you were a machine?
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
It's funny, I do this for a living, but yet I get my girlfriend to take the garbage out at home.
Really?
Yeah.
And so what do you do for fun if you don't get a lot of downtime?
I play a lot of poker.
Yeah.
I'm a poker fanatic.
Have you and your wife ever taken a vacation together?
No. November 13th, I go to Cuba, and that's the first holiday vacation I've ever booked. Well, it's not, I've been working since I was 12 or whatever. I'm 26. I've never took a holiday.
Are you excited?
Oh yeah, I've never been on a plane, so I'm a little nervous.
Wow.
Because Dan works fast, hard, and smart, he's able to book a last-minute job, making his total for the day that much higher.
That's it. Alrighty. How'd you think of the day? Yeah, it was a good day. You were better than the average person that I give a shot to, so it was quite interesting.
I learned today that there's a big opportunity in our rural business. And while things are more spread out, if you effectively plan your route and work hard, work smart, there's profits to be made.
Brian's week undercover has come to an end.
Going undercover was definitely more than I expected. I found all sorts of great things being done in the field, met with some awesome people who are very passionate, and learned a lot that I think I can take back and help other franchise partners continue to grow their businesses. It was a long week, but I think I'm getting a second win because I'm excited to get home.
Coming up, the employees he worked alongside have been summoned to head office. They're about to learn the surprising truth about Hugo Ward.
How you doing?
After a week under a mountain of trash, Brian Scudamore has climbed out from under and is back on top as CEO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Morning. Morning. It was an amazing experience. I definitely saw a lot of opportunities for things that we can improve, but there were a lot of really great things as well. There's a huge opportunity to grow our rural business. I saw our truck teams in Peterborough doing massive jobs. I think we should be looking at how to apply that to other franchise partners. I saw that our teams aren't really doing their truck marketing.
What is it that we can do here to help get more marketing out there?
Teaching our franchise partners the importance of the marketing and giving them the tools to help hold their teams accountable to delivering on the marketing. So I look forward to us working on them together. Glad you're back. Okay, thank you.
All the employees Brian worked with have been brought to Vancouver from across the country.
So now it's time to reveal my identity to all the people I've worked with over the past week.
They have no idea why head office wants to see them.
I didn't sleep last night. I was having nightmares. I was either in a lot of trouble or going to lose my job.
None of them suspect that trainee Hugo has been their boss all along.
How you doing?
Good.
How are you? Have we met before?
You're not Hugo, are you?
Brian Scudamore, founder and CEO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Oh, God.
Okay. You had no idea.
No, geez, no.
Am I in trouble?
You're not in trouble. Quite the opposite. So clearly I was undercover. I was impressed with your work ethic, your attention to detail, and you cared about the customers. You know, when we went out on an estimate, I saw you demonstrate an idea for a mobile office, and I think it's something I'd like us to take and roll out to the entire system. I wanted to give you a thank you. And you saw, I think, my frustration trying to vacuum with that little hose, and it's so important to have the right tools. So I bought you a new vacuum.
Well, thank you.
But I also want to do something personally for you. I know that you've been through a tough year, It's been a hard year for you and your family, you and your wife selling your home. And I know you and your family love music, so we've got you season's tickets to the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, which I know is something near and dear to your heart.
That's very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you did a fantastic job with our customers, and I know that they left feeling wowed.
Wow. I want to say, you wowed me. To be acknowledged is quite humbling. To know that you are doing some things right and that it's recognized, you know, it's a little overwhelming.
Dan, thanks for making the trip all the way out from Peterborough. I appreciate you being here. First flight ever, right?
Ever. It was a little intense.
Yeah? Yeah. Did you have to medicate?
Nope.
Working with you was awesome. You're a machine. You got a work ethic that I rarely have seen. Something I want to give in return as a thank you for the phenomenal job you've done. I know that you don't take a lot of holidays. So we have a franchise partner conference. I want to get you on a plane again.
Really?
And bring you to Vegas, bring you to the conference so you can get some learning there, recognize you in front of some of your peers. But the other special thing I like about Vegas is I know you're a poker fan. So we're going to buy you into a tournament and you're going to get to play some poker in Vegas.
That's crazy.
And you deserve it. You work hard and we're proud of you, so enjoy it.
I can't
Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely shocked. Speechless. I've worked really hard my whole life, and it's nice to know that, you know, if you put forth the effort, people recognize, and things like this happen.
Thanks to you, Daniel. You know, we had fun working together.
Yeah.
I thought you did an outstanding job. You, in fact, were the only person that got me to do some marketing. I was impressed. So the reason why I brought you here today is a bit of a thank you. I know that you got a passion for journalism, and I want to help you in any way I can achieve some of your dreams. One of the things we want to do is we've created the first annual tuition assistance program. And any employee from here on out who writes us and demonstrates need, we're going to help with the education, starting with you.
I don't mean to cry, but like,
Sorry. No, it's good. I mean, it feels good to be able to give some thanks back to someone who's put so much into the company.
hearing that I'm doing a good job and having the CEO and founder of this company say that to you is, it's pretty remarkable.
All the best.
The
to
whole
you,
thing,
and
it's
we'll be in touch.
such an unconditional act of kindness.
Danny, it was awesome working with you. You know, you're on top of things, you're cracking the whip. You know, you were on top of your guys and your teams. So a few things that you helped me see while I was in Calgary. Number one, you drew to my attention that the call center doesn't always communicate in the same language. And there was sort of short codes being used that you didn't know what they meant, I didn't know what they meant. And I'm going to make sure it gets standardized and well communicated out to the entire franchise network.
Cool.
And lastly, another opportunity was the oil industry is taking a lot of people away from 1-800-GOT-JUNK Calgary. And so I'm going to be having a conversation with Dave, the owner, to figure out how do we solve that in an out-of-the-box, creative type way. I'd also welcome you to be a part of that solution. But as a personal thank you, you and I both share a common passion for Italy and all things Italian.
We do.
I know that you've got a passion for writing and that's your lifelong dream. And so one of the things I'm going to do for you as a thank you is I'm flying you to Rome, and we're going to be renting an apartment for you so that you can spend some time, as long as you can get away from the business, to do some writing.
Are you serious?
Serious.
Oh my God, thank you.
Of course, provided it's okay with Dave that you can take some time.
Oh my God, I would love that. I'm feeling totally overwhelmed. I'm speechless. Having the opportunity to go over there and spend some time and write and be in the city that I love, it's just amazing. I can't ask for anything more. Can I hug you?
Sure, why not?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Going undercover was awesome. We actually made a difference in people's lives who have made a difference in our business.